Check out carmarshal.com. The link is in the description. They help support us.
Good evening. First, I'd like to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to stand here today. I am honored, I'm grateful that you saw something in me to stand here and speak on behalf of Dr. Martin Luther King and peace, justice, and community unity. Recently, we had a parade rally and on January 15, where we came together and we talked about the theme, we are stronger together. And that's what my topic is going to focus on today. We are stronger together. Stronger is defined as having the power to move heavy weights or perform other physical tasks. Together is identified with or in unity to another person or people. Stronger together is being close enough to assist others with any demanding task. Yes, we are stronger together. Stronger is the why, together is the how. It is a proven fact that people are stronger together. If you see yourself as a leader, because I do, you know the value of working together. We as society leaders have a common task, preferring, linking, and attitude to come and work together for a common goal, which is to be stronger together. Dr. Martin Luther King knew the recipe for success for our nation that was and still is that we are stronger together. I need you, and you need me. Dr. King, an American who fought for civil rights, delivered his public speech, I have during the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom on August 28, 1963, in which he calls for an end to racism in the United States and called for civil and economic rights. His speech was delivered to over 250,000 civil rights supporters from the steps of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. His speech was a defining moment of the civil rights movement. As we move forward as a nation, we must learn how to move forward with each other, not as an individual. We will still become stronger together. Stronger together is just not a slogan that should be used to make us feel better. It is a direction that we must believe and live each day. Are you willing to be stronger together? I need you, you need me. Yes, we are stronger together. A study was led by John Hopkins, behavior scientist Eric Foreman, and published in the November 4th issue of the journal Science showed that the brain works better together. Are you willing to be stronger together? That's the question today. I need you, and you need me. Yes, we are stronger together. There have been many people who have came before us who have left with the following quotes. Alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much. Helen Keller. Her quotes ties directly into, yes, we are stronger together. Sometimes good things fall apart, so better things could fall together. Marilyn Monroe. Yes, we are stronger together. Yes, our greatness as a nation has depended on individual entities, on a belief in the free market, but it also depends on our sense of mutual regard for each other, mutual responsibility, the ideal that everybody has a stake in this country, that everyone has an opportunity. As Americans, we know that. We know that the government cannot solve all our problems, and we don't want it to. But we also know there are some things we can't do on our own. We know there are some things we must do together. Across America and numerous communities, there have been many disturbing incidents has caused civil unrest recently. We in Charlotte County are blessed to enjoy the much peace and harmony. In many ways, our community may serve as a point of light in our nation. Are there still things we need to do in our community? Yes. We must continue to invest in our students. They are the heartbeat of the nation. They will rise up and continue to make America great. because America is already great. It takes wisdom, hard work, dedication to our best value to protect and uphold Dr. Martin Luther King's dream towards a better future. As Dr. King would put it, we must continue to focus on social uplifting and not fear each other because of the lack of communication. As Dr. King would put it, people fail to get along because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because they don't communicate with each other. We can only continue to advance together if we learn to communicate with our brothers and sisters. If Dr. King was alive, he will continue to call upon all citizens of Charlotte County to continue to join in the effort for peace, justice, and community unity. The time is right now to do what is right. As Dr. King would say, now is the time to lift our nation from the quicksand of racial injustice to the solid rock of the brotherhood. Now is the time. Now is the time to make justice a reality for all of God's children. It will be fatal for this nation to overlook the foundation of our nation. The whirlwind of revolt will continue to shake the foundation of our nation until the bright days of justice emerge. Free at last, free at last. Thank God America is free at last. I witnessed a miracle on January 15, 2018, right here in Charlotte County. We celebrated the legacy of Dr. King with a parade and rally in Punta. The community came together from all backgrounds to continue to work towards Dr. King's dream that one day all children will live in a nation where they are not judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their heart. That it is better to stick with love because hate is too much a great burden. That we must learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools. That one day that this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. That we hold those truths to be self-evident, that all men and women are created equal. That there will be a time when we must take a position that is neither safe nor popular, but we must take it because our conscience tells us it is the right thing to do. The question 50 years later on one of Dr. King's most profound quotes, what are you doing for others? If we work hard as a community, we can accomplish anything because injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Yes, we are stronger together. Thank you. Stay for questions. Oh, yes, I will.
If there are comments or questions, that would be a good time. And I'll start you off with one. Can you tell us what you're doing at the Cooper Street Center recently?
Recently, as a board president of New Operation Cooper Street, I came into the presidency in August. And Cooper Street is the heartbeat of East Historical Punta Gorda. It has been a community center for many, many generations. I was not born and raised in Charlotte County. I moved here from up north, so I don't have that background that most people have that have been through Cooper Street. Was the kids was raised there, they went there, but I do have the love for children. And as a person that loved children, our center was not financially stable to keep our program. So we partnered with the Boys and Girls Club, which was an issue 5 years ago because East Punta Gorda did not want Boys and Girls Club in their community because they feared that it would take away from the nature of what they wanted it to be as a center. Which is still a couple of things that I'm working on with my board, Ms. Martha and several other board members, to get East Punta Gorda to realize that we must work together. No matter what color we are, what where we're from, where we came from, whatever. We must continue to work together. So it's been a struggle. It still is a struggle. And I'm there to take on the fight because I want to make sure that our children have the best education, the best upbringing, and the best training they can get in Charlotte County. Yes, ma'am.
Do you still have the study programs, the help? My husband and I, we went there years ago and helped them after school with their studies. Do you still have that study partner program?
Yes, ma'am. When we partnered with the Boys and Girls Club, they acknowledged that they will continue to run the program like it was, except just add a couple their additional programs. So we still have that, and we are looking for people to come over and help tutor with our kids because reading and math is such a important part for our students in that area, and they struggle in those two areas. So we do need support as much as we can get it.
Here. Nice one. Right there, the fella in the green shirt. I thought you
Yes, my name is Andy. I'm with Charlotte County COPWATCH, and it's kind of a social justice thing. So that's why I came here today. I saw it in the paper, and I was wondering, what are you guys doing? I know you said it was a good community, and it is. But there is a lot of issues, that I've been working on for 5 years now of, getting a community review board. Like, here's a quick example with Charlotte County Sheriff. They're like one of the last places in the United States that does not have body cameras, car cameras, or court cameras. And the horror stories that we've gotten over the years of what they're doing to people, because it's their word against ours, is just off the chart. And in my opinion, it's like policing for profit to the hilt here. So that's why I came today. I didn't know if you're working on anything like that, or do you have any stories, or can you help our group? Just so you know that the word is getting out. My YouTube channel, before he took it down a month ago, was at 77 million views in 5 years. 4 million a month, 66,000 subscribers. So we are getting the word out. We're just that's why I came here to see if you're working on anything like that or not.
Well, I cannot speak for the Charlotte County Sheriff Department. I can speak for New Operation Cooper Street as the president. We did speak with Punta Police Department, and they have upped the patrol in our area, and that's what I'm focusing on now to make sure that we kind of make sure our children are safe. Yes.
Okay, just let me ask a question. You're working in this school department, and you have been there for years, and you've worked with youth in many other types of settings. What do you see as the biggest challenge to today's youth that needs to be addressed?
The biggest challenge I see with most of the children that I deal with, because I start my job at 6:45 a.m. with the before school program, and then I leave there at 9 and work the 9 to 3:55 in the regular school, and then I start the afternoon program from 4 to 6. What I see most is that the school is, as me, I feel like I'm kind of more raising the children, and they're with me longer than they are at home. So I just want more parent support. We do have a great set of parents, but I just wish we would have more parent support.
Good morning, Andy. Nice to see you.
How are you?
Good
to see you.
With COPWATCH.
That's right.
I do want to say something, then, with
Yes.
one of the problems, and I know what you do. I really appreciate what you do. I want you to say that to you.
Thank you.
One of the problems that we face in predominantly African American communities, and ours now always has been mixed, but is even more mixed, is under enforcement. And we have had a group in our community that interfered with policing because we do not want, and Ms. Smith can tell you, we do not want people hanging out and doing, selling drugs near Cooper Street. And we complained, and there was another group, African American group, that protected these people. And so some of what you may be seeing in our neighborhood is us neighbors saying, no, we do not want the drug sales. And there is this other group, though, that has been protected. But we have a new homeowners association, and from its District 1, and we absolutely want enforcement. We want no under-enforcement, because if our, what you get in Chicago and places like that, we got the police brutality. I'm not, because I do that work with them. But you also have under-enforcement, which is the denial of our 14th right to protection. And so at Cooper Street, we want our neighborhood and our children protected. Okay? But I like what you do.
Thank
Good
you.
to see you.
Good to see you.
Comments or questions?
I'm very interested in what you're doing at Cooper Street, and I would, I'm a retired teacher, and I would like to, how would I go about it if I wanted to look at, like, doing some volunteer work in the after-school program?
Well, we start at 2 o'clock.
Mhm.
You can just stop by and fill out an application at the front desk, and then we will review it, and we will go from there.
Okay.
It's a very simple process.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm Kevin Randolph. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, wow.
One of the, as a county commissioner candidate, one of the biggest problems I have, and Mr. Sheets had pointed out, is that, I understand we need policing, but one of the biggest problems I have is we can't control our dogs. If you can't control your weapons, then you ought not have them. Now, I've seen some of the videos of people, our citizens, getting attacked by canine dogs.
Correct.
They should not have these dogs if they can't maintain them. They're not to make these dogs, I love animals, to attack people, to attack our citizens, period. If that's one of my biggest things that I don't like about our policing. If I get on the commissioner's office, that's one thing, that if they get caught not controlling that animal at any time, I'm going to be after them. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Back to topic about Cooper Street.
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work could volunteers do?
Well, we're right now with the Boys and Girls Club taking over our afternoon program. They are looking for volunteers to have tutor with the kids. But we're getting ready to start a middle school and high school program. Ms. Mata will be starting that program, and we're looking for volunteers for that as well. So there's a lot of opportunities for us, when I say us, I mean the community, to get invested in our children. There are other afternoon programs in the community as well. But I stand for Cooper Street, I stand for the Boys and Girls Club, and we do need help, especially at New Operation Cooper Street.
Can I say something about our programs? Our programs are...
Wait a second. Wait. Yeah, speak right in.
We have the Boys and Girls Club, which is doing the afternoon program, but Cooper Street also will have programs. And so that needs to be made clear as well. We're going to be, I think our ratio here is something like 750 kids to one counselor in this county. Our children need counseling. They need assistance in filling out aid to school, getting the aid to go to school. They need assistance in choosing their classes. So when we work on this whole thing of career exploration and empowerment of our kids, any of you have backgrounds that could help with that, helping children make decisions, we'd be very happy to have them come in and work with us. Because right now, our children are not, everything, the focus is on testing, and our children are not getting the kind, 700 to 1, and they have all these schools. So our children need adult guidance. And so if you, as an adult, you've gone through the process, you've applied to go to college, you know how to write the essays, our kids are going to need that. Somebody like Myrna, who's a writing teacher, will be working with them on how to write your essay for college. We do need volunteers to help with our middle and high school kids.
And to add to what Ms. Martha said, if you don't have a degree in that area, if you have just the love for children, you still can go. Still can go.
Hey, I'm just wondering if you've approached your local Rotary Club to ask for help.
Well, we have been approaching a lot of people in the community. We have a Facebook page where we have information on that. We have a newsletter that goes out to the local residents of Punta. We have done things in the paper, and I'm not understanding why so many people fear away from Cooper Street. I think it's the stigmatism of what Ms. Martha was talking about, the drugs and the activity around the place. But since I've been there and I've been on the board, and we signed an affidavit with the Charlotte County Sheriff Department that if anyone is on that property during the hours that the kids are there, that I give them the authority to make an arrest. It has calmed down. We only had like two arrests within the last several months, but it has come down. So I think it's the stigmatism of what people think is there, and we're working on that. And we're asking people to come out now. The building has been remodeled. We have a new set of employees. We still have some of the old employees. We have new board members. So there's a big change. But until you come out and see it for yourself, you're going to still think it's still the same thing, and it's not.
Okay, so I have 3 questions. The first, just ignorance. Are y'all in Charlotte County?
Charlotte County, yes, we're in Charlotte
Okay.
County.
The second, do you currently, or does Boys and Girls Club currently have any internship programs for, say, college students who would be interested in I hate to say assistant managing, but I don't know quite what the language would be, students who are interested in social work or education?
No, we don't have that.
Okay.
The Boys and Girls Club is kind of a mirror of what the school offers. Because the kids are in the school and they come to us for homework help, so we
Right.
kind of stay with the same segments of the school, which is STEM, math,
Right.
science.
Right.
So we kind of stay in that same arena. We don't do any internships.
Okay, actually, that's a sidecar question. If I were to show you an internship that another Boys and Girls Club did, is something y'all could potentially look at. I don't mean money, I just mean something where a student would actually be able to work with you for 4 months or 8 months or something like that.
Well, we do
Maybe.
have high school students who come in and they volunteer and they work with the children, but we don't have that particular internship.
Okay.
Now, I can, if you do, send me that information, I can get it to the executive director of the Boys and Girls Club, and he can take a look at it.
And then my other question is, are you currently working with any colleges in the area?
Am I currently working?
Right, your Boys and Girls Club and Cooper Street and so forth.
Well, Boys and Girls Club, we're not working with any colleges in the
Okay.
area at this particular moment.
Okay.
But Cooper Street, we're hooked up with several colleges, Florida Gulf Coast
Okay.
and Western Michigan. So we're on the path.
Okay.
The thing that I want the community to understand as the board president is the task that I took as the president of Cooper Street. There are many, many layers that has to be fixed. And we can't make it happen overnight. You know, we made the first layer happen with the partnership with the Boys and Girls Club. So there are other layers that we're working on. They're coming. But anything else that we do in America, you know, it doesn't happen overnight. So we're working towards some of those things that you just asked about.
Okay, and I'll give you a business card and we can chat more later.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, just a quick question, and relates to what other people have been asking about volunteering. I tried to do that, I believe it was 2 years ago. I filled out a lot of papers, and I was never contacted. So I just wondered, what's the time frame that you have to wait in order to have your background check and whatever to actually volunteer there?
Now, this way you fill out the paperwork with who? Cooper Street?
Cooper Street, right?
Well, like I say, there, I am the new board president.
Okay.
That will not happen now.
Great.
You fill it out, we will contact you.
So is there a time period where I imagine you have to have a background check
Yes, ma'am.
and all that?
Yes.
What is the time? Just because some of us are snowbirds. here.
Well, you fill out the application, and we run you through the system, and it happens within 24 to 48 hours.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yes,
okay.
we can get you in. Now,
Oh,
if we
that's
do an intensive background check, it may take a moment. But we do the minimal that we need to do in order to get you in the door.
Because I have taught. I've been a retired teacher, but it's been up in Massachusetts, so I don't have
Well, just
papers.
leave me your information, and I will
Okay.
contact you, and I will
Oh,
send you an application.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dorothy Jones, and I have worked in the school system over the past 18 years. I'm now retired. My concern is with the youth, the older youth in our community. I know at Cooper Street I used to volunteer in more geared toward the younger children, but I feel like the kids in high school and even starting in middle school, they need to be taught, started out, someone mentoring them with life skills and all, such as we look in this community now, they're starting to rebuild and do construction and all that. And if you look at your papers, everybody doesn't go to college. But they need electricians, they need plumbers, they need cabinet makers. And I think that there's to come to the point in time that we need to also, college is important, but try to get some of our young people to go into some of these skills, because if you're following the news, there's going to be a lot of building going on around here with the village and the new place over in Punta Gorda and all. And if we start with that, they have this technical center there on Cochrane. Try to get some of our young men, even girls. The STEMS program is good, but everybody's not geared towards STEMS because it's a little higher education. But that the skills, just the plain everyday carpenter, electrician and all, and they don't realize that those people make more money than some of our teachers make, who spend 4 years in college plus get a master's degree. I know that from experience. They start out, they come to your house, they want $20, $25, $35 an hour just to come in. So some of our youth needs to come into our community, and the people, I don't know how much from the schools and all are coming, to make them aware that these trades are very well needed and they pay very well.
And if I can add to that, I am on the board with the Community Task Force team as well. And the Community Task Force team is a group of leaders, which is the school board, the county commissioners, Charlotte County Sheriff Department, Fungo Police Department, NAACP, Trader Woods, New Operation Cooper Street, Boys and Girls, and the list goes on. And we recently had a community meeting, and we brought up that topic of getting more kids to go into those trades. So we are moving towards that direction as well as a community. I am with the Charlotte County Technical College. I do have a scholarship there in my name. So I support that 100% because I give out scholarships twice a year to students who go through that program and pass. So I am a supporter of those type of jobs as well.
Do you or does anyone in the audience know if there are any African American police within the Charlotte County system?
I have, I know two. One goes to my church, and two goes to my church, and then I'm on the board with one that was, there's a board member for New Operation Cooper Street. So there are African Americans on the Charlotte County Sheriff Department.
And there's one working in the courthouse.
And also in the courthouse.
Yeah. One African.
With trepidation, sir, if it's a political announcement, I'm gonna flag
No,
it.
no.
Okay, there you go. No problem. Okay, no.
I'd like to work on these issues.
Okay.
This topic is important to me. It hits hard because I understand how parenting is. I have 3 children of my own, okay? and I have 2 in the Air Force, and I think that I did a good job parenting mine because they're wonderful children. But I want to know your view on medication for children. I know you deal with children with behavioral issues, and for example, my son went to school and they want, because he's a little hyper sometimes, they want to put him on medication. Well, why it hit so hard? Because my sister died from pills. And I don't think, in my opinion, that children should be medicated. And as a behavioral, as you're working with children, what is your view on medication with behavioral issues?
That is a very powerful question. And as a person that works with behavioral children, I don't look at the medication, I look at the child. And when they come in my classroom, I look at that individual child, whether they're on medication or not. I don't go by whether they're on medication or if they're not on medication. I look at that student. And I look at the need of that student and what I need to do as an individual to help that student get where they need to go. So I never focus in on the issue of medication. It never comes to my points when I'm working with children.
Hello, I wanted to know when you mentioned that one of your problems is that getting the parents to participate. And I wanted to know what you were doing to attract the parents. Do you have a babysitting program so those with little kids can have the little kids watched while they participate in what you're doing? Or is it because they're all at work, or what is that situation? Maybe it's something we could help with.
Well, I work with middle school children, so I don't have the luxury of working with the small children. When I say parent involvement, it's because I know for myself what I do. I arrive at the school at 6:45 a.m. and I get their children from 7 o'clock until 6 o'clock in the afternoon because they're working parents, because they are either single parents or they just have to work. And I think a lot of our children are missing that home piece because our parents are working. And there's nothing that I can physically do to help those parents except express to them that, hey, we need you more. We need you more. But then they need to pay their bills. So how do you fix that? And that's a question that I still have. How do I make that happen? How do we make that happen as a community when they have to work to feed the children? I haven't gotten that answer yet.
I just attended, I don't know what this stands for, the CAAA board has something to do with social services in Charlotte County. But one of the things, sir, that came up that one of the other county commissioners responded to is if the county commission, if there was a push to have a decent minimum wage in Charlotte County, then Ms. Zelda would not have to have these children all that time, because that's what we need. And we certainly hope that you would be in favor of that, a decent minimum wage. That would really help you, wouldn't it?
I don't know if this fits on the agenda or not, but I think you were speaking about community policing, and I want to speak to that issue. Oftentimes the problem in the community is because of parents working, dogs, and whatever the issues might be. But I was wondering, I spoke to the sheriff of Charlotte County at length, and I'm aware of the type of programs that he says they are taking place in junior high and senior high school. And I was wondering, is there a need for improved dialogue among the police? And if that might be a role that the UU Fellowship and other religious communities might.
Well, what I can say is that Charlotte County Sheriff Department is present in the school system. We have our ROS officer and all the schools. They're present, they mingle, they go through the classrooms, they're conversate with the children. They're there. They're there.
What does that do, though, to improve community relations in the broader community?
Well, it improves how the children see law enforcement. It helps them see law enforcement on a softer spot than seeing them out in the streets arresting someone. So it has, they communicate with the kids, they tell them what they expect of them, the kids respect them. So it's building relationships. A lot of kids to build relationships with the officers beyond seeing them out in the streets arresting someone. So it's just a foundation for a positive relationship. And I applaud my resource officers throughout this county because I have been at several schools and I have been around to several schools, and they are open and present, and they mingle with the children. They have positive relationship with the children. So I don't see that as a problem within the school system.
Okay, I'm going to draw this to a close. I'd like to thank our speaker for coming today. I'd like to thank you all for your comments and questions. And remember, next Sunday is the chair of the school board. I'm sure you'll have no questions for him either. Look forward to seeing you then. Thank you.
County, this is Cheryl, County COPWATCH, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Sheriff County COPWATCH with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if some, if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave let's say, actually, yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But, do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, at least I can do it. 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is, if I got, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. 47,000 of you so far right now. $1 a day. $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head. Help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.